Ladies and gentlemen, may I just begin by saying how touched I am to have been asked to say a few words at this conference. For this reason, I'm particularly sorry that I cannot actually be with you in person, especially since the issues that will be discussed over the next day or two are of critical importance. The EAT Stockholm Food Forum should be commended for encouraging discussions that highlight the interconnected nature of food, health, and sustainability. There is no doubt, surely, that the way we produce our food lies at the very heart of sustainability. What we eat is directly linked to so many critical issues facing the world today. Everything from how we curb the emission of greenhouse gases and ensure the health of soil, to how we improve people's nutrition and enable nature's vital biodiversity to thrive. Sadly, at the moment, all of these issues are hampered by the way much of our food is produced. The fact that there are now more people who are obese than are hungry, that agriculture is paradoxically both a cause and a casualty of climate change, that industrialized farming systems are destroying the very soils we need to grow things for generations to come, all demonstrate that we have to find a more durable and beneficial way of producing food in the future. Now, for what it is worth, I have long felt that creating a transition to a more sustainable food system would be much easier if it was more widely understood that our century-long obsession with producing cheap food has actually produced quite the opposite. Poor health, polluted water, and diminished biodiversity are just some of the enormous costs societies have to bear because of the way we have chosen to farm and feed ourselves. We are not short of evidence of how all these problems have grown over the decades, but nor are we at a loss as to what the solutions might be. I've seen many inspiring examples of how genuinely sustainable agroecological agriculture, rural development, conservation, and good human health can all be pursued together. And I know there are many positive ways forward that would pay dividends to consumers, the natural world, and to farmers. So it seems to me, ladies and gentlemen, that the question is no longer what we need to do, but why it isn't happening on a bigger scale. The answer is actually very simple. For as long as it remains more profitable to produce food using the kind of intensive production methods which are damaging to the environment and to human health than it is to farm in a sustainable way, then producers will simply go on doing that because they have to follow the most profitable option. So it follows directly from this that the greatest single barrier preventing a mainstream switch to healthy, sustainable food systems is economic. And if there is one single issue which I would urge you to concentrate on at your conference, it is working out how it might be possible to introduce a series of economic and policy measures, both carrots and sticks, the end point of which would be a better business case for sustainable, healthy food production. To achieve this, we will need to identify and put a price on the damaging consequences arising from our present unsustainable food systems in relation to greenhouse gas emissions, water pollution, destruction of natural capital, such as soil carbon and biodiversity, and find ways in which we can ensure that the farming systems whose practices cause damaging outcomes pay the full cost of these. Conversely, those systems which reduce emissions and other forms of pollution, increase soil carbon, and enhance biodiversity need to be financially rewarded for so doing. This, incidentally, is known as full cost accounting, or accounting for sustainability, and would mean that the food we consume would then actually be at the price that reflects the real cost of production. So it is my sincere hope that your gathering this week will begin to provide some direction as to how creating such circumstances might be possible in order that we can stimulate tangible changes in the way we approach this most fundamental of questions, namely the urgent need to develop and bring to scale food production systems which benefit not only human health, but the health of the wider environment and critical ecosystems on which our futures ultimately depend. I can only wish you the greatest of success.